We've always had tanks, we've always had Bradleys, and it's part of it's our culture. We've got some great soldiers, great master gunners, great leaders in this organization to provide the combat depth and the combat experience that the Army is looking for and the National Guard is looking for. But that's our challenge, is to chain to that and make sure that we have the ability to execute our wartime mission when called upon.
The 81st Brigade was more chopped up, I thought, and so did they, than most typical Army units that went downrange. And so when they came back, they said, you know, if we were a Stryker unit, we could practice as a Stryker unit, we could deploy as a Stryker unit, and you know, tanks and Bradleys are great, we all love them, but they're not going to help us one iota in the event of a big disaster like that earthquake.
We're really looking at about a 2-year process to turn in equipment and get the training done. And in this 2 years is when we're going to try to work with the soldiers to find the right fit, the right home, and the right opportunities for them. It's just going to take a little bit of time. It's going to be tough to get kicked off, but once it gets going, it's going to streamline out, and we're going to find ourselves on a path to collective training here, probably in 18, and then doing something with this formation in 19 and 20.
With sequestration and the defense budget cuts that have been coming down and are going to continue to come down, the National Guard is probably going to have to lose a heavy brigade combat team out of our force structure. And so the 81st Brigade was basically in a death match with 2 other heavy brigade combat teams to see who was going to survive and who was going to be cut. And by converting to Strykers, that takes us entirely out of that force structure cut. And the 81st Brigade is safe.
So one thing with this conversion that our force has to understand is that this is going to be a tough process to start. It's just going to take a little bit of time. We're going to start this fall with prepping for turning in and turning in the current equipment that's in the 81st Brigade. That's going to be a monumental task. Before this deal was approved, we were really facing about 600 or 700 cuts in terms of lines that positions sit in force structure. This deal, because of the growth of the Light Cavalry Squadron and the growth of the 2nd Stryker Infantry Battalion, allows us to keep our force structure much higher than what it would have been just 6 months ago.
So soldiers now are gonna see rapid promotion opportunities. Now that may constitute or necessitate a move. You know, you used to drill in Puyallup, now you got to go to Kent to drill, etc. But soldiers that have had promotion opportunities stymied due to overstrength in those high-density MOSs are going to see a lot of promotion opportunity very, very rapidly.
I'm excited about it, and I think they ought to be excited about it. I think it's a tremendous opportunity. It puts us really, I would say for about the next 10 years, it puts us on a path of education, of learning a profession, and of growth and opportunity for them.
They looked at, with regards to soldier care, the ability for the soldiers to minimize their commutes to YTC on a regular basis, the ability to train at a closer location, be it Joint Base Lewis McChord or some other training location.
You'd be kidding yourself and I'd be kidding you to tell you that there will not be a mistake. There will be a mistake. Just have the patience, give that mistake an opportunity to get corrected, and if it doesn't get corrected, raise your hand. Let somebody know it didn't get corrected, and people are willing and want to ensure this thing goes right.
But this was all about the people. Soldiers came to me when I was the Army ATAG and said, hey, this is something we just got to do because it's going to be so much better for the 81st Brigade to make this move. So it's all about the people.